today we got some more testing. So we dropped the bar trend and we're just using a 5511 Nevsky, which is paired with a maxed XY, and we're going to try that against few different marches that I want to test. And this is not going to be fully scientific testing. The civilizations are not the same. I'm using Ottoman and Prince is using Arabia, and Arabia does have a bit more of an advantage with calves, but other than that everything else is pretty much the same. Now in my case, in this match I have a 55XY and a 5551 William, and Prince has a maxed XY and a 5511 Nevsky. Now I'm obviously gonna lose because of the difference between the maxed XY and the 55XY. However, looking at the report, I would assume that if I had a maxed XY, the report would be a bit more fairer, but then at the same time it just shows you how strong a 5511 Nevsky is, even though the William probably brings more benefits for a field fight. Now for the second testing, we're using a Saladin and Minamoto. The Saladin is maxed and the Minamoto is actually maxed and museum buffed, but then again it's not doing as good against the XY and Nevsky. And again, reminding you, on the other side the Nevsky is just 5511 and on my side we have all max commanders, but even then the Saladin and Minamoto is gonna lose. So the Minamoto, I don't think even with the museum buff is that great. Obviously better, but not like new commander category. And again, just like the last fight, it probably goes to show how strong the 5511 Nevsky actually is. Now none of these fights or the little semi-testings that we're doing is to show one pair is better than the other or not. So I'm just trying a few commanders against the XY and 55 Nevsky, and that's just to say that you can use the max XY and a 5511 Nevsky. Now if you only had a few KvKs in Season of Conquest, then there's a good chance that you may have had the gold head saved or the gem saved so that you can max one of the commanders. In this case we're assuming that's XY, and if you're a cavalry player then obviously you're thinking about Nevsky being the new strong commander. And then if you start investing in it, obviously over time you will get there with maxed, but whilst the Nevsky is at 5511, should you consider using it? And that's all we are kind of looking at. So please understand that I'm not trying to make it a scientific report and saying one commander is better than the other, because not even all the test conditions are good. Now in the background we tried a Saladin and actually a Saladin and a Khan, so both maxed, and then that got defeated as well. Now none of these marches are even coming close to a 5511 Nevsky with a maxed XY. Now some people may say that the maxed XY is making a difference. That's true as well. Now the max XY does make a big difference. All we're trying to say is if you have a maxed XY, along with it you can get away using a 55 Nevsky, and that way if you're using a second pair of cav, you can probably use a Saladin and a William. Now in general I don't like using XY on the field anymore, just because how much it gets targeted. And speaking of getting targeted, we're using another match that would probably get targeted. So we're using a Gilgamesh and Nebu. Nebu is max, the Gilgamesh is 55 something. Now the reason why I'm testing that, again just to show a random march how does it do against the Nevsky 5511 with an XY. Now one of the other things that I will try to add is the reason why I don't have a Nevsky. My one is just 1 and my bar trend is similar. The reason behind that is I spend all my gold heads on getting my rally pairs ready for infantry at first, and now I'm working on the archer pair. Now unless you have a specific role like me where you're working on a rally pair or a garrison pair, you definitely should be working on Nevsky, and you can probably start using it from 5511. For more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.